How do I jump to the next level now? How do I embrace every opportunity that comes my way without feeling I'm not ready yet? I'm not skilled enough yet.
Well, it's it's always both, right? Which in any of these either or questions, the answer is almost always both. Where if you wait till you're ready, you're never going to do anything. You're just never going to do anything. If you wait till you're ready, like Zayn is not ready to do everything that I tell him to do.
That is so true.
And then how do you get ready? By doing it, right? By practicing, right? If you are totally comfortable, then you're just staying inside your comfort zone. So that's a problem. So you're demonizing feeling not ready yet. Feeling not ready yet is actually a good thing. That means you're onto something. It means you're stretching yourself and you're growing and you're learning. Because the opposite is you're bored because you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And that's not the life that you want. So not being ready is fantastic. Celebrate that.
Yes. Okay, and blah blah blah. I would add. I'm gonna add my own personal story to it because everything Evan just said. Start before you're ready. Start before you're ready. How do you get ready? Well, I'm gonna give you one quick technique, and you've heard this before. It's called affirmations. Okay. You have to tell yourself you're ready in advance. So whatever it is you want to do, you have to step into that in advance and give yourself an affirmation for that specific thing that you want to do. Because the thing that controls you more than anything is not your conscious mind, it's your subconscious mind. So by doing affirmations, that would get your body and your mind ready to do what you have to do. So yeah, you just got to go for it. And give yourself affirmations in the process because then your mind will have to talk you out of it. You can talk yourself into doing it. So do it. That's what I had to do with Evan. He says, start a YouTube channel, do it. And you'll figure it out as you're doing it. So the first step is just start. Second part is, how do I embrace every opportunity that comes my way without feeling I'm not ready yet and I'm not skilled enough yet.
Right. Okay. So the skilled part is tied to the same thing of feeling like you're not ready. That's fine. How do you get the skills? By doing the work. But embracing every opportunity, you don't have to. You know, opportunities are plenty. Tons of opportunities all the time. And there's a new one coming tomorrow. And so if this one isn't the right one for you, great. Move on. It's fine. Don't stress, right? The one I just gave Zayn about coaching, I think that's a really good opportunity. I would push him to do it. You know, normally I don't like him sitting there researching and planning and writing stuff down and all that stuff because he's great at it, but he doesn't need to work on that stuff. He's already great at it. But in this case, it actually is a real opportunity for him. That's a much better thing than selling his course. Even if long term he's like, I don't care about being the built to serve guy. I'm going to do my own thing. Awesome. This could be the bridge to help you get there, right? But if Zayn just decided, you know what, I don't like this idea. It's not the one for me. Great, like move on, something else. There's lots of opportunities. Don't feel like you have to hit every one because then you end up hitting a whole bunch in a really crappy way. If it doesn't feel right, don't stress. There's more opportunities coming your way.
And if it does feel right, embrace it 100%.
Yeah, and the fear is not enough. Like fear is not a good enough reason.
Yeah.
It needs to be the path in. If you're afraid, you got to do it. That's the best lesson to teach yourself.
In the doing, you would develop the skill set. It's in the doing, not in the thinking. Thinking doesn't develop skill set. Thinking develops the mindset. But in the doing, we call that the doing confidence. Confidence comes by doing. And you will develop the skill set just by the doing. So, you know, with the old saying about, you know, feel the fear and do it anyway, that's right. That's one of the ways of overcoming fear. Just do it. Just do it. And then that fear will dissipate. And your skills will develop. So everything Evan says, do it. And the opportunities will happen. Because in my case, this is so built to serve. It's so perfect because it's in alignment with my purpose, my goals, everything I want to be and everything I want to do. That's why it's the best book ever. It's totally in alignment with my calling and who I am and what I want to do with the rest of my life.
And I would just slightly change that saying from feel the fear and do it anyway to feel the fear and do it because of.
Yes.
The fact that you're afraid means you have to do it. That's what you want to teach yourself.
Does that serve you? What do you think about it? And tell us what you're committed to doing. He said, thank you so much, Evan and Zan. You have no idea how much this means to me. Woohoo!
Let's go.
So, hey, blah, blah, blah. Since you're here, we're having fun. Give us two things, just two things that you're going to do before, in the next couple of days. So you can have that momentum going into 2021. Just two things. He said, this is really helpful. Okay, how helpful? Give us two things you're going to do. And two things. Create an organized plan about my goals in 2021 without pressuring myself. Make a list of all the things that make me uncomfortable and go straight at it face to face. I love it. Yes.
Face to face. All right, let's go. What's one of those things?
Yes. What's one of those things you're going to go face to face with?
Don't worry about a list of 100 things. What's the biggest thing that you need to attack starting in 2020?
Yes. We're still in 2020, so that's right. Great.
You got 3 days to attack it. We can already start. Let's go. What do you got?
Number one thing on that list is not being afraid to be unapologetically myself, being more on the attack.
All right.
For example, like Conor McGregor.
Okay. Well, but okay. So where are you not? Like, let's workshop this. Where are you not being Conor McGregor? Where are you not showing up? What does that mean? Where do you need to be more? Is it unapologetically myself? Is that what he said?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Great. So where are you missing that? Where are you embarrassed to be yourself? Where are you apologizing for being yourself?
Oh, this is good. Talk to us, blah, blah, blah. Come
Let's
on.
hear it. Let's go. Hey, this is growth.
Great.
It's happening.
Answer to Evan.
Okay.
I feel like certain times I might have been on a back foot. Let some people walk over me, not asking for things or opportunities I want, and ultimately someone else getting it.
Okay, but specific. That's still too general. When is that happening? Like right now? When is that happening?
One thing I want to go kamikaze on would be my music. I'm a musician, and for the past 2 years, I have not put as much effort as I should have. But 2021 is where I make my grand comeback.
Is that what you're on the back foot about? Like, was it about back foot about people walking all over or something? Right?
Yeah, I think there's two different things. He answered your question. He answered mine.
Okay, so where are people walking all over you? Right now, where are people walking all over you?
And what opportunities are you missing out on? A recent example of walking over. When I got an opportunity to head a college committee, I got so caught up in doubting myself that I forgot to see how much potential it had for my growth. But I know I'm afraid of it because I've been procrastinating.
Wait. Is this still the same question?
This is okay, hold on. They get me confused. Okay, so blah, blah, blah said this. This is blah, blah, blah. Okay, not Gemini. Blah, blah, blah says, because they both use that kamikaze example in their stories. Okay, so this is blah, blah, blah. Reach the example of walking over, or being walked over, I guess. When I got an opportunity to head a college committee, I got so caught up in doubting myself that I forgot to see how much potential it had for my growth. And I gave up and somebody else got it. And now he deeply regrets it.
Okay, so that's past. But what about something that's happening right now?
Luckily, this behavior has not showed up recently because I changed my mentality completely to look for only positive things and see myself only as a treasure of potential.
I like it. Just be aware to catch it. Like even now, it's still there. It's still hidden just on a bigger scale, right? Like beyond the mountain is more mountains. My biggest problem is I don't believe in myself enough to get to the next level. And so it's great to have a generic model to say, I want to be more positive. I don't want people to walk on to me, all over me. I want to believe in myself more. I want to have more confidence. Like that's great. And that's so much further ahead than when you joined last time. And so I love it. That's great progress. And when you don't have something specific to attack, it makes it a lot harder to actually execute. So finding the next thing, finding the next challenge, finding the next thing to go after. So that happened to you in college or in your class or whatever that example was, college committee, I think. Great, that happened to you. And when it comes up again, you can recognize it. But we don't want to wait for the college thing to come up again.
Yeah.
Like, what can we go off and it's more being proactive instead of reactive.
Yep.
To proactively go and chase something down instead of reacting for life to come to us. So what's a goal that you want to chase down? Let's look at your music as an example. Maybe it's your music. If you haven't launched your music career, or you have not been yourself in your music career, if you want to put out songs that you're afraid other people won't like, you want to try a new sound that you're not sure if it's going to work out or not, right? Attack it. Choose to attack it. And make that your goal. And whatever the stories in your head that come up, I'm not good enough, people won't like it, people won't watch it, or people won't listen, or people will listen and they're going to judge me. All of the negative voices that come up, then you'll be able to do your style of reacting to it, of trying to be a positive person and look for the better situation, because you put yourself into the uncomfortable, proactive situation. So that's all I'm looking for. I want to find something for you to go off and proactively attack and jump into, because you're in a default happier place right now. You're living in a happier place compared to where we were the last time we joined. And so Zayn and I are both super pumped for you. And we know you're capable of more. And we want to use this momentum, energy, positivity vibe that you got going to finish off this year and jump into a new life. But that requires a jump instead of just kind of staying where you are right now. Does that make sense? So what we're looking for is some proactive step that's specific. I'm going to launch my new song before the end of the year that I've always wanted to put out and I'm afraid people will judge me for, right? That. As opposed to waiting for something to come to you. Does that make sense? I love to see a response on that one, blah, blah, blah.
Everything you said hit the right note.
Okay. The right note? Did you mean to say that?
Yes, it was, the harmonies is wonderful. So
all right.
So he said, also about the only up part, I recently noticed that I don't introduce myself as a musician right off the bat.
Ooh.
Because of the guilt that I barely did any music. I barely did any music due to mental health issues.
Okay.
So do we need to go more into what were your mental health issues?
Well, listen, music is one of the greatest, if not solution, at least soother for mental health, right? Like the greatest songs come out of both from artists creating songs, but also soothing other people's mental issues and helping them feel not alone. Like great art makes people feel because it comes from an emotional place. So that's actually a giant leg up that you've got. So I love it. That when you're feeling that, tap into it. And now, in terms of introducing yourself as a musician, how about we change our name on YouTube here from blah 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 to blah blah the musician, or somebody, your real name, the musician. How about that? Yeah. That's an introduction.
And let me add, he says, how do I get over that guilt, and more important, the guilt of not done any music because of his mental health issue? How do I get over that guilt? More importantly, the regret that I could have done more in the 2 years and been at a better stage now.
By being better now.
Yeah.
But focusing on what used to happen is never going to help you get anywhere. Focusing on what could be with what you've got left, right? Like that's always the answer. So the answer is action.
Yeah.
So this also ties to the point of I want you chasing something down, because if you're living in regret, you're living in the past. And it means you don't have an excited future yet. You don't have a forward-facing goal that you're living. You know how to get rid of regret? Go crush today. Have a goal that you're super jumped to get out of bed and go and do. Right? Like be proud of the effort you're putting in today on your music for the goals that you've got for yourself and your ambitions. Because if you're spending your time hustling down today to say, no, I'm going to make it. Now today is awesome. Here's what I'm going to go off and do. you spend zero time actually thinking about what could have been and where you used to be in default mode of regret.
Yeah. And blah blah blah. One more other thing too. You have to.
Can we get a name change? I'm sorry, Zayn. I want a name change.
You want a name change?
I want a
blah,
name
blah,
change. I want you to change your Google name or YouTube name here instead of blah, blah, blah to something about being a musician. The problem is you don't introduce yourself as a musician. I want musician in your name. Because this is the same problem that we were talking at the beginning of the stream about Zayn being willing to charge for his services. I said, hey, I can make you the Built to Serve coach. You'll be in charge of coaching for Built to Serve because I'm not doing it. But one of the conditions is on the announcement page, we're saying that you charge for your services. There's a free group. And then if you want more one-on-one time, because Zayn's always going to, I mean, listen, we all have our things to work on. That's one for Zayn. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be automatically baked in. You have a trouble introducing yourself as a musician, put it in your name. Then anytime, if Zayn saw it, it says, blah, blah, the musician. First question is going to be, hey, blah, blah, the musician, welcome aboard. What do you play? What's your music? Right? Your name's introducing yourself for you. So can we get a name change?
Let's get a name change, blah, blah.
Let's get a name change. It's not that it's that great a name anyway right now. I mean, I don't know that blah, 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 blah is really speaks to your soul. If it does, tell me. You know, if that's actually the name of your pet that died 3 years ago and it's a tribute to them or something, maybe. But I think we can do better. What do you think?
Blah, blah, what's the name change in the comment section? So blah, blah, blah did change his name, but before we get to blah, blah, blah.
Really? Well, what's the name?
Oh, you want to know the name?
Yeah.
Okay, the new name is blah, blah, the kick-ass musician.
What? It's happening. I love that. Okay. So Zayn, let's do a quick role play. Let's imagine blah, and then be honest, and I know you will, but blah, blah, this is actually, imagine Zayn, you haven't ever seen this person. They're just joining the chat for the first time. Zayn's going to give you his honest reaction if he came with that name and then said, hey guys, I'm here in the chat. Great to see you. I'm a fan of the channel. I got a question for you. How would you welcome him?
Exactly. I would welcome him as blah, 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 the kick-ass musician.
And then what would you ask him? What would be your next thing?
Pop music.
Yeah. So, but like, what specifically? What instrument do you play?
Yeah. What instruments do you play? What kind of music do you like? How long have you been a musician? Are you professional? Who have you played with? Have you toured? You know. So I want to know about the whole music, this whole world of music.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you need, right? Is that you don't want to introduce yourself, and boom, now you're forcing the introduction. I love it. We're already making 2021 better by making 2020 better. Congrats, man.
This one, it says blah, 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 blah before he changed his name, but now I'm going to read it as blah, 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 the kick-ass musician.
There you go.
Makes sense, Evan. Definitive goal is I'm going to learn and get a grasp on the keys, bass, guitar. I already play the drums, after which I plan to learn how to record and put a lot of music out. Put a lot of music out. Okay, put a lot of music out. Great.
Wow, he's playing everything.
That's good. I mean, that's great. Okay, so he says, change my name like you guys said. Also, this is not my real name or account. The reason I chose blah blah is so that I feel more comfortable to ask questions when I remain in anonymity.
Well, this is the next comfort zone challenge. Join from your real account.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're here to love, support you, cheer you on, check out your stuff, right? This is exactly it, right? So we're proactively going and chasing things down instead of reacting to things and waiting for them to come to us.
Evan, he says, okay, we'll do it right away. There you go.
It's happening. I love it.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Because we really want to know the real you. We want to get to know the real you. And we know you make great music. He says, switching to my account, but I don't have any stuff on there. That's okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it yet. Don't worry about it.
You are enough. When you get back, let us know. And your new name. Okay, here he is. Sid Kinney.
Sid Kinney? Is that it?
Yeah. Kini. Hey guys, switch to my main account. I am still here. Woohoo! He's got a picture on there and everything.
I love it. Welcome aboard.
Yes.
Good job. Okay, so what I was saying while you were kind of connecting was what I love about what you're doing is taking the feedback and taking immediate action. Where so many times what happens is just the resistance come, right? The old story, the old patterns are immediately there to say, like, it's just default mode to say, no, I can't do this because I don't have any of my music there, because people might judge me, because I still don't want people to know who I am, because like all of these. And what you did right there is just say, you know what? Okay. Challenge accepted. Let's go. Like,
I love it.
and that the faster you can close that gap, that will lead to the massive trajectory of your music and your life. Because if you didn't, we could stay stuck in that zone for a while. We could say, okay, well, go through all the reasons why it's not working and why it's not a good idea and why, right? And we'd stay with you, and it might take, a week of live streams for you to actually start to do it, but you just did it, and that's awesome. That's exactly what will make 2021 and the rest of your life beautiful.
And two things I want to add. Number one, Sid, I can call you Sid now, right? This is great. Two things, and this is what I'm taking. This is what I'm picking up, and let me know if this resonates with you. Number one, the thing about the regrets and all that kind of stuff, the past is the past. So you must forgive yourself so you can heal and love yourself. So that's number one. Number two, that depression that you had before is going to be gone because now you are actually making music and doing the things you want to do. So there's going to be no regret and no depression because you're making music and you're going to be touching other people's lives. So you're killing two birds with one stone, going into the year 2021 with a lot of momentum. Let me know how that settles for you, if that makes sense. That resonates with me, Zayn. Owning up to the fact that I was blah, that was asking you questions is huge for me because I am owning up to my dark side and making an action to move towards a better life.
Yeah.
Which is good.
So this is, Sid, this is great. So this is what I want. I want to recognize you. I mean, I still want you to change your name to Sid the musician, Kinney or Kanai, however you pronounce your last name. But when we started tonight, you said there's nothing that you want to work on because everything is really good and you're in a really positive mindset right now and there's nothing really to go off and attack, right? I don't know the exact words, but that was the kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. And then now look what we did. Look what you did with a little bit of push. He says, hold on, changing my name, right? With a little bit of push, now you're doing it. And that's how I want you to like take the energy from this session and keep doing it more and more and more, to not settle for just being in the happy place, but to know, hey, now there's definitely more I can push because you are hungry to grow, but the growth doesn't just come to you. You got to go off and attack it. And if you want to get out of that place of regret, that's what it's going to be. Notice in all of these changes, Sid, in the changes here of how many changes we made. You changed your name from blah, blah to blah, blah, the musician. Then you came on your main account. Now you're changing your name to Sid the musician, right? In all of this growth that you've just been experiencing, how much have you been thinking about the regret from the past?
Exactly.
Right? And so that's what I want to give you. That's the zone I want you to be living in on a daily basis, because you're excited about the future and what you're doing and the changes that you're actually making right now in your life, so that you're not focused on what used to happen and who you used to be and the mistakes that you made back in the past. If you are living in that previous regret from college, it means you're standing still right now. Like, that's a deeper thing. And you need forward momentum towards the life that you want to build. Sid Kinney Music!
Yes!
There it is, Sid Kinney Music. Sid Kinney Music, and he says absolutely right. When I focus on my growth, I'm no more focused on regret. There you go.
Yes.
That's it. The problem wasn't regret. The problem is you don't have a compelling future that you're building towards. I love it. Well, what a way to end it. Sid Kinney Music, and next time, hey, if you come back tomorrow, tell us how to pronounce your last name so we make sure that we're getting that. If it's Kinney or Kenai or something else, so that we can check that out.